The United States Postal Service has been an invaluable asset to the American people ever since Ben Franklin was appointed Postmaster General in 1775, though it wasn't officially recognized as an independent agency under this name until 1971. Today, the Postal Service employs over 500,000 people and delivers roughly 1.5 billion pieces of mail annually. So, why have we been hearing so much about it lately? Well, due to the effects of the coronavirus pandemic, many at-risk and otherwise cautious voters don't want to stand in line with a horde of other people and risk catching the virus. Instead, they plan to vote by mail. Now, vote by mail isn't a new concept. There are already absentee ballot systems in place all over the country, but this election is likely to yield unprecedented levels of remote voting. The Postal Service has already sent letters to 46 states as well as Washington, D.C., stating that they could not guarantee all ballots cast for the 2020 election would arrive in time. This poses a serious concern, as millions are worried about being disenfranchised by the underfunded service. Congressional Democrats have rushed to the aid of the post office, fighting for extra funding to ensure widespread mail-in voting in the next stimulus bill. This has contributed to massive delays in negotiations, as President Trump staunchly opposes further funding of the post office. Democrats have proposed $25 billion in additional funding, a number recommended by the governors of the Postal Service, appointed by the president himself. Trump has repeatedly attacked mail-in voting, tying it to the funding of the Postal Service.
But now they want to send in millions and millions of ballots. And you see what's happening. They're being lost, they're being discarded, they're finding them in piles. It's going to be a catastrophe.
Trump claims to be opposed to mail-in voting as it will cause mass fraud, but this simply isn't a substantiated claim. 5 states already conduct elections almost entirely by mail and report very little fraud. Voter fraud as a whole in the United States is very rare and nowhere near statistically significant enough to sway the outcome of an entire election. The president's ploys to sabotage the agency have become increasingly severe. The appointment of Louis DeJoy as Postmaster General is the perfect example of this.
Democrats calling on the new Postmaster General Louis DeJoy to resign.
DeJoy has never worked for the USPS, a trait unique to the position over the last 20 years. He formerly ran a logistics company and has donated roughly $1.2 million to Donald Trump's campaign. Since taking office, DeJoy has banned overtime and extra mail trips, removed and dismantled 600 high-speed mail sorting machines without explanation, removed mail collection boxes, and removed or reassigned 23 senior officials. All of these measures have been the subject of extreme controversy, as Democrats have accused the new Postmaster General of attempting to sabotage mail-in voting on behalf of the president. The USPS Inspector General has begun a review of the policy changes to determine if DeJoy has been complying with federal ethics rules. So, why, if voter fraud is so rare, is President Trump choosing this hill to die on? Well, the ability to vote by mail is sure to increase voter turnout substantially. Historically, higher turnout tends to swing elections towards Democrats, something Trump has admitted himself in the past.
I will tell you this, if you look at before and after, the things they had in there were crazy. They had things, levels of voting that if you ever agreed to it, you'd never have a Republican elected in this country again.
Trump has been seeing unflattering results in recent polls, sitting 7.7 and 8.4 percentage points behind Joe Biden nationally and the Real Clear Politics and 538 averages respectively. Trump is attempting to sabotage the post office in order to increase his chances of winning in 2020. So, this is where you come in. The post office needs your help, and this is how you can lend a hand. First and foremost, spread the word. Lack of information is a massive contributor to political apathy. Simply share this video with a friend, create a video or post of your own, or even just inform friends and family of what's going on. Spreading this important information is vital to saving the post office. Secondly, buy stamps and other USPS merchandise. While this may seem a trivial investment, every little bit counts, and as long as Congress remains ineffectual, the Postal Service is relying on consumers like us to fund them. Next, sign petitions. This is a great way to show our politicians how much this issue really means to us. Pressuring them with widespread support is a great way to force them into action. I will make sure to leave some petitions down below for you all to sign. Finally, contact your representative and your senator. This is incredibly important. Put the flame to their seats. Remind your elected officials that regardless of their partisan predilections, it is their job to represent you. There's no power greater than that of the people. With all of this being said, It's incredibly important that you get out there and vote this year. If you plan on doing this by mail, turn your ballots in early. Don't let yourself be disenfranchised by an authoritarian attempting to bend the rules of democracy. That's all we have for you guys today. I hope I've been able to share some new information. If you have any questions or recommendations for future videos, feel free to leave those in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and share, and I'll see you in the next one.